Our next guest was 27 years old when she lost her father to cancer. But from her grief, the intensely intimate and uplifting debut novel, Blindness, was born. Susan Strecker joins me now here on Style. Nice to have you here, Susan.
Thank you so much for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about your background first, because you're a first-time author. You
Yes.
had a really different job prior to writing.
Yes, I had two very different jobs. I have a master's degree in marriage and family therapy, and I also had a racetrack, a multi-venue racetrack for 10 years that I took over for my dad when he died in 1998.
So how did you make the transition to writing?
I sold the track because my kids were old enough to go to school and I wanted to be home with them. And when they started school, I had some free time, a couple of hours during the day, and I started writing then.
All right, so without giving away the entire plot, give us an overview of Blindness.
Oh boy. It's about a woman named Jensen who, when she was a teenager, her brother died in an accident. And she and her childhood boyfriend, Ryder, have a secret about that accident that Jensen really couldn't deal with, so she moved away, she went to college, she got married, she never came home. And then years and years later, her dad gets sick, so she has to come home. And you know, we can only run from our past for so long, and
Sure.
so everything that happened to her when she was a teenager kind of comes back.
And it seems like it has a lot to do with your dad, this book.
You know what, the whole book is kind of an homage to my dad. He was the greatest guy I've ever known, so the whole thing is a tribute to him.
And it's based in Connecticut. Well, what's the points of it are in Connecticut?
Yes.
Does that come from your influence?
You know, I grew up in Madison, Connecticut, and the book is based in a shoreline town that could be any one of our beautiful towns.
I see.
And it's, you know, it's just such a wonderful place to grow up, and I have so many fabulous memories that I wanted to give a little shout out to my childhood too.
Sure. The storyline itself seems a little bit sad, though. Was it emotional for you writing?
It was. There were 3 scenes that I can remember off the top of my head that I had to stop and do something else for a while because I was crying so hard.
Really?
It was very emotional to write this.
Well, I'm sure because you were thinking about your dad also through
Yeah.
the process. Explain to me a little bit your relationship with your dad so we could better understand the book.
He was the greatest guy. You know, he's the person that you call at 3 o'clock in the morning when you run out of gas.
Oh boy, he came to rescue you, right?
Yes, he was the guy that never got mad at me when I did something stupid because I was young. And he just had this fierce love of his children. And it was so great for me to spend time with him. I lived with him when he was sick, and it was so great to spend that time with him because that was time that I might not have gotten otherwise. And so something good came out of his illness and eventually his death.
Right. And Susan, what is it that you want readers to take away from your book?
I think I want readers to understand that it's okay to grieve and it's okay to be emotional, and out of grief and loss and secrets, something good can come of it.
Sure. And I understand you have a couple appearances in Connecticut. We can come and see you.
I do. This Thursday at noon, I will be at Bank Square Books in Mystic, Connecticut. And later that evening, I'll be at Baloo's Wine Bar, hosted by Breakwater Books. And then I've got one at Essex Library and another one at Lion Share Farm in Greenwich, Connecticut.
Very good. And the book is available just about everywhere?
Yes, it is. Bookstores, online, Kindles, Nooks, Amazon. Yeah, it's available everywhere.
Very good. Well, thank you for sharing the story with us, Susan.
Oh my God, thank you so much for having me.
Our pleasure.